89 on up, homies, the show where you gon' get Cali history. It's told with respect and dignity. Spoken by jihad so vividly. He's taking over the industry, giving y'all some download imagery. Damn you, if you ain't hitting them likes, come on, subscribe. Check out the channel and I bet it will make you decide to tune in every chance you get. It's lit, and some of y'all can learn a bit from this gangster shit.
YouTube, what it do, loved ones? You know the motto, if you can, after the story's over there, hit us with a like, which is a thumbs up, and that'll let us know we kicking our stuff. I want to thank the homeboy G League Deuce for the intro from the legendary Mental historical hip-hop album, Banging on Wax. You can reach him on Instagram at Solid from Day One. What it do, loved ones? I was hanging with the homegirl last night, and she got at me and was asking me, how did we get acquainted with the OG homeboys in my time, in my era, versus to how the young homeboys get acquainted with the big homies in today's time. In my time, homie, coming up, dog, getting acquainted or meeting a big homeboy coming home from the penitentiary was historical, legendary, monumental, homie. And the reason why I say that, because we heard other homeboys speaking good about they peers and they homeboys in them times. You know, you'll be young in the hood and you'll hear a certain big homeboy talk about, I can't wait till such and such come home. I can't wait till big whoop-de-whoop come home. You know, you'll catch a homeboy like an OG killer whack back in his times. How about, I can't wait till big Satan get out or something, homie. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have these dudes shook up like a dice game. I can't wait till big whoop-de-whoop come home. So we'll be hearing about all these dudes, names inside these penitentiaries that meant a lot to the turf and to the homeboys that was speaking about them. Man, we couldn't wait to meet some of these dudes, homie. You know, us that was out here trying to make a name and make a way for ourselves, you know, at a young age, we'll be posse'd up in that YG crew talking about, man, I can't wait to meet the big homie. What you think he like? What you think about this? So anyway, homie, to dig into the story, one of the big homeboys at this time, he went by the name Big Satan, homie. So we hear the homeboys talking about Big Saint this and the homie this and the homie this. So, you know, I'm waiting to meet the homeboy, dog. So as time go by, you know, homies will be talking about who's about to come home. So the homie wind up getting on a list of who's finna come home. So as we powwowing and used to have barbecues and just talking, keeping everybody up to speed and up to date, the homies talking about big whoop-de-whoop coming home, big whoop-de-whoop coming home, this homie coming home. So we got about 4 homies coming home within a 5-month span, homie. And at this time, the street we hanging on, I believe it's Beach, homie. You know, we on Beach at this time, dog. So yeah, we waiting on the homeboy, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, 3-4 months pass in the time, homies start falling out. And you get 4, 5, 6 homies back in the days falling out, mixing in with the homies that been already out. The hood be looking thick. You know, we be burnt out in our time, belling through the hood or driving through the hood, seeing homies hitting each other up and stuff. We like, nigga, we out here thick, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas don't want it right now, homie. It's too many homies out. You know, this how dudes talking they turf. When certain dudes is home, when that can get a gang of different dudes to come out and hang out and function in them early 90s, you talk this type of stuff. Like, man, dudes don't want it. This the worst time dudes want to come through and pick something and all this. So anyway, with the time span of homies falling out, I finally get the chance to meet this legendary homeboy, Big Bang at that time. Homie, you know, he went by that. You know, the homie done changed his life. He's an advocate and doing different things. But at that time, you wanted to meet a Big Bankton, homie, from the turf. So, homie, I get out. We got a spot, a hood spot at them times where your whole hood will be up in them spots. Homegirls from different communities, Adamus will be there, different homies and all that. So, I wind up hitting the hood that day. That the homie wind up getting out. Think he kind of been out, but I finally get a chance to just hook up with him in the turf, you know, within this time being out. Think he wasn't out no more than like 30 days, you know, before I get a chance to stumble across him and meet him. So I hit the turf like 7 o'clock. I hit the turf 7:38 at night. I hit the turf, and we used to kind of like have shifts where homies just hang out. You might have homies that come out in the morning to function, because later on they got to do their family thing or go to work or do something like that. So you had a second crew that come on. You know, we might have had to do our family thing or do whatever we had to do early. And we'll hit the turf, you know, the second shift, you know, second wave of the shift. So I come in second wave of the shift. I wind up hitting the turf like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and bell up in the spot. And I see a homie up in there on swole, 2 braids, you know, got that fresh out look, you know what I'm saying, G'd up in there. And hustling, and I see him moving around. So I'm like, you know, I get at the homie. I'm like, who is Blood? Homie Blood from family or something? Because families and different mafias and different homies used to come to the NHPs and hang out and function, hustle, and hang with different homies. So when I bell up in the spot, get at a few niggas my age and shit, few of the homies, I'm like, what's happening, Blood? Greet niggas. So I see the homie over there. I'm not knowing he from the turf yet. So I'm like, tell the homie, like, yeah, who is Blood? Blood from family or something? The homie like, nah, Blood from the turf. I'm like, is that right? So I'm like, damn, homie, that was like, that's Big Bang. I'm like, Blood, is that right? I'm like, Blood, it's active G homies falling out. So I get at the homie and shit. And you know, in that time how we talk, I'm like, what's happening, Blood? He like, what's happening, Blood? I'm like, Blood, Big G half, neighborhood power rule. He like Big Bang, homie, Inglewood, neighborhood power rule, you know what I'm saying? P-Funk all around the world. I'm like, all the time, homie. So I'm just, you know, I'm moving around, talking to the homies, but I'm, you know, cutting my eye, looking at the big homie like, Blood, it's on out here, you know? And in arguing the same way, they wanted to see how we was down. We wanted to see how they was down after doing all this time, hearing about these dudes. What type of characters are these dudes? And they looking at the new members of the turf like, who are we? You know, how are our standards and loyalty to this? So, bam, I fall up in the spot, meet the big homie, you know, looking at him, admiring his style and all that. He wound up wanting to go to the pad, homie. So, at this time, wasn't no customers coming through that got vehicles. I think it was around the 1st of the month or something like that. So everybody know back in the days on the first in the turf, smokers is all doing their thing. You barely can get a ride. They just coming through, getting what they need, and they doing their thing, homie. So I tell the homie, the big homie, he trying to get a ride. So I tell the OG homie, dog, if nobody don't come through at a certain time, I go on and take you, homie. You know what I'm saying? Let me make a little bread. Let me do my thing, twist around, make $1 or $2 around the turf. And I got you. So time started. He like, all right, no problem, homie. Excuse me. So time wound up rolling, spinning around. It's getting a little later, digging into about 11 o'clock maybe, homie. So I tell the OG homie, I finally tell him like, man, forget it. Ain't nobody came through. Let's roll, homie. I got you. So, bam, he get in my car at that time. I had a Maverick, homie, a baby blue Maverick. So he get in the Maverick. I had little beats in there. I thought it was a baby Chevy, homie. You know what I'm saying? So I had little baby beats in there. So we rolled it. You know, I'm hollering at the OG homie. He hollering at me, asking me, you know, how long I've been in the turf, what's my experiences, and all this, you know, what I've been doing out here, you know, and all that. So I'm getting at him and same token, like, yeah, man, I heard a lot about you and this, and that. So as we riding, the OG homie, he got a cannon on him, homie. You know, he got a cannon on his, like, you know, like holster style with a jacket on. So as we ride, you know, and back in the days, homies ain't tripping to be like it's yours, but in the same token, we gonna pledge our allegiance and try to get one another away. So as we ride and we going to Compton and all this, he asked me, have I ever, you know, rolled through different Compton rip hoods and all that? Am I familiar with Compton? You know, I kind of tell him like, you know, yeah, I'm kind of familiar, you know, with the homies areas, you know, not too much with all the rips. So we kind of detoured a little bit. You know, he just pointing out some spots to me, you know, how it's sectioned off and all that. So, bam, homie, we get to some light, dog. We get to some light out there in Compton, and all of a sudden, homie, I think we see the sheriff's passes and bus of you, so they get to riding on us, homie. So we get to a light or something, homie. You know, we get to a light. We at the light, and the OG homie come out with the thing, and he got it kind of like this. So I'm looking, he just finished doing the gain of time. So when I look at him, and he look at me, he looking like, he tell me like, homie, I ain't finna go back. You know, he got the thing. So this where the loyalty, the pledge of allegiance, all come into play on how we got acquainted, homie. You know what I'm saying? So once he pull out the thing and look at the thing, and look at me, and I look at him, and he tell me he ain't finna go back, and I know he just did a stretch. He tell me when the light turn this color, just punch a U, homie. Punch a hella U, then hang a hella right, homie. And I'm gonna do my thing, homie. You think you can handle that? So we talking while the law still behind us, and they hit the cherry. So once they hit, that mean pull over. So once the light turned green, I stumped it, homie. Hit a hella U. Hit a hella right. Oh, like kind of blocked the alley off. OG homie jump out. All I see was a swole homie running with two braids. So I'm like, bam. So I get police grab me, bump me up, snatch me out the Maverick and everything. So they wind up, you know, running my name and all that. I was clear at that time. So they wind up touring my car, and we was kind of like borderline of a Paru hood and a Rip hood. So I wound up having to call the turf, hurry up and get somebody to come get me, while the law was kind of like across the street towing my car. I had to hit a phone booth, and that's how it was back then. So imagine the feeling back then, not strapped, in a borderline of Paru and Rip Hood and Compton, where dudes was doming each other, we was executing each other damn near, and you got to go to a payphone, homie, and call somebody and get you up out of there, homie. That was way out stuff back then. And I was cherry, and dudes was rolling past looking, but they wasn't doing nothing because the law was still there waiting on the tow truck to tow my car. But 89 on up, G stuff, not Ye stuff. And that's how I wound up getting acquainted with the OG homeboy, Big Bang. And I didn't know, because they was calling in on the radio saying suspect running. So I don't know, did they catch the OG homie or what? So when I finally get to the turf, spread the word that we had a mini high-speed chase, I got the OG homie away. Niggas like, yeah, nigga, you stumped out. Nigga, you really did all that? I'm like, yeah, nigga, I really did all that. Niggas like, that's right, homie, that's some gangster shit. So we drinking in the spot. I'm like, I don't know if the OG homie got cracked, though. You know what I'm saying? So we like, damn, niggas like, damn, we just do all that time, damn. So I think 2 days later, I hit the turf on my same shift, second wave shift. I fall up in the spot. I see Big Bang up in there. First thing he do when he look at me, start smiling. I start smiling back. He like, man, what it do, man? So we cut it up in the spot. He like, yeah, man, when you turn, when I told you to turn and turned again, homie, I jumped out. He said, homie, I just gave it all I got. He said, man, I ran so fast. When I got to the spot, I thought I hit it on myself, but he said I didn't, man. I was just sweaty from just running so damn fast, outrunning them, homie. But G stuff, not D stuff. And that's how we got acquainted with the OG homeboys, to pledge our allegiance and loyalty to them, to let them know we was solid. Versus to nowadays, dudes want to smoke a blunt, maybe put you in a video, have some drinks with you, and that's how they want to get acquainted with you. They don't want to raise the bar on the loyalty and all that we did with the OG homeboys and the big homeboys at my time, homie. But you know, time changes, and everybody got their own way of making amends with one another. That's how we did it in my time, homie. Shout out to the OG homeboy, you know, for your success, changing your life around, being an advocate to help us in the turf and help others, homie. I salute you, homie. I always respect you and always look to you for extra knowledge every time I get a chance to see you in traffic. Once again, 89 on up, G stuff, not ye stuff, and I'm going to keep sending it.